some automation, some AI, you can't have 100 text message conversations right now. But I spent every single day, Monday through Sunday, and I woke up 7, went to the gym, worked on the system, and clocked out like 7. So it was like 12 hours a day. And I kept working on it. And by the end of the summer, I did $28,000 in wholesale fees. And then the next month, I did the biggest deal of my career and did $40,000 without ever stepping foot in the home, no license. And I think I just turned 17.
And there's people in the chat are like, what the hell is wholesaling? So for those of you that don't know what wholesaling is when you find an ugly house, and then you put it under contract, and during its inspection period, you sell that contract to a cash buyer. Okay, and that cash buyer pays you $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for finding them the house. The beautiful thing about wholesaling is you don't need cash. You don't buy the home, so you don't need cash. You don't need credit because you're never going to buy the home, and you don't need a credit. You don't need a real estate license, right? So Andy could do it at 15 years old, which was pretty dope, right? So you're saying
my parents signed all the contracts.
Your parents were signing all the contracts for you at that time because you were underage. Okay, so and again, if you can repeat, what was the amount of money that you made in that time?
I made $28,000 that summer. And the next month I did 40 grand. And
okay.
It was my own thing. So it was my secret sauce. And I would come on these like live calls you have. And I'd be like, I just closed 40K, but I'm like still full-time in school. And everyone was like super confused because they're like that. You don't really hear that often of like someone doing really well, but also like really occupied with some other thing. So everyone was kind of confused on like what the heck I was doing. But one guy ended up reaching out in the community and was like, dude, I'm curious. I just want to know, hey, I'm not trying to steal any of your ideas. I want to check out what you do internally in your business, and I want to learn from you. And I get on a meeting with him, and probably this is the most influential meeting of my life. And I get on the meeting, I show him like, hey, this is how I make offers, and this is how I automate all my conversations with agents, and here's how I only spend like an hour a day doing my wholesale KPIs that I had to do. And
now, for those of you that don't know what a KPI is, that's a key performance indicator. So I gave Andy like a prescription. I said, Andy, you got to talk to so many people every single day. You need to follow up with them 8 to 13 times. Because again, when you're doing agent outreach, that's the problem. You got to talk to them. You got to do the cold outreach. You got to talk to these people initially. And then you're going to have to follow up with them 8 to 13 times before they're going to give you an ugly house. Okay, so continue.
So you can imagine, like, even with 10 agents, let's just imagine I had 10 agents in my pipeline. I had to keep track of exactly, okay, I'm gonna follow up with John in 15 days. Okay, I'm gonna follow up with Sarah and actually, Sarah, I don't wanna touch base with her every now and then. I wanna touch base with her like 40 and 45 days. And then you got John and then Jamil and then Tatiana that I have to follow up with. And it just became a huge mess. And it was impossible. And so that's why.
Well, it wasn't impossible because this dinosaur did it without even all the. Yeah. But it was hard, bro. Like I'm telling you, and I dropped the ball a lot of times. How many millions of dollars did I lose, Andy? Because I didn't have what you had. I didn't have what you made.
Well, I'm Asian, but I'm not a school prodigy. Okay. I'm a very realistic person. It's like, okay, let's do that. And let's just do a lot of that. So I also hear a lot of people are like, hey, I want to do my first deal. And they don't make any offers. They don't have any conversation. Like, how are you gonna get your first deal? So like, I focused on making offers and having as many conversations as possible. And that drove results, and that's what got me what I got. So halfway through, going back to the meeting I had, damn, I forgot his name. Let's just say Matt. I had, halfway through the meeting, he stops me. He's like, Andy, how much is this? I'm like, I don't know. I got really uncomfortable because I've never given any, I never really did anything like that. It was always just wholesaling was my thing. And he was like, I want this entire system in my company yesterday. And I was kind of stunned. And I just kind of I kind of don't even want to do it. I kind of just want to this whole thing of giving a system to someone else, setting it up, that's a lot of work. And I was like, I thought of a price that I thought was really high. I was like, 2,000. And before I even finished 2,000, I was done. Where do I pay? And I was like, whoa. I was like, that's when the moment was like the light bulbs came on. I was like, wow, I actually invented something that did not only fix my problem really, really well, but was a solution for probably all of wholesalers, to be honest. Like everyone.
Absolutely. Everybody does. And so you create this system. I catch wind of it because of the fact that Andy's now, you know, he's people are talking word of mouth, right? This is all word of mouth. He's not like, you know, advertising it or anything like that. He's not talking about it in the Facebook group, nothing. He's just word of mouth. People are like, oh, dude, I'm using Andy's system, bro. Like it's literally doing agent outreach for me, and it's following up with everybody for me. And there's people in the chat saying, how do I know what to say? Well, he's already preloaded all the things to say. And it's smart, and it uses AI, and so it's having dynamic conversations with these agents. And I can't believe it. It's like this kid just invented this thing, and it's changed my entire world. And so they're all talking, and then it comes back to me. And now the publisher who helps me put out Astroflipping comes to me and says, yo, this Andy kid, he's selling something in the course, we're gonna kick him out. No joke, like this is a true story. They're like, we're gonna kick him out. And I'm like, okay, hold on a second. Why would you kick him out? They're like, because he's not allowed to sell to the community. That's our job. And I'm like, okay, fair. But like, hold on a second. Let me talk to him. So I talked to Andy. Actually, my team reaches out to him, and they tell him, hey, Andy, Jamil needs to talk to you. So Andy thought he was getting in trouble, which he kind of was. But I'm like, but there was a lady, Marilyn Savage. I'll never forget what Marilyn Savage said to me. She sent me a text message, and she said that Chinito Lindo, she didn't really say that. She didn't say Chinito Lindo, but she said that cute little boy, Andy, in our community, he created something that has changed my life. And she's in her 70s, okay? Marilyn is an incredible woman. She's a wholesaler out of New England, Boston. And she said, if I was you, I would write that boy a check, and I would become his business partner. And so when Andy came on to the meeting with me, I'm like, show me the system. And he shows it to me. And I'm like, huh. Okay. Do you want to be partners? And he was like, whoa. I'm like, well, here's the reason. If I'm your business partner, they can't kick you out. And he's like, oh. I'm like, and also, if I'm your business partner, I can help but get this into the hands of everybody, because this is the best thing I've ever seen. And so Andy and I become business partners, and the rest is history. So I just want you guys, people were asking, how old are you now, Andy?
I am 18 now.
He's 18 years old, so everything that he did in Colombia was legal. But Andy, I just wanted to congratulate you, bro. You changed the lives of so many people. You've generated thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, actually, for people in the community. I'm because this is the best thing I've ever seen. Doing work, and it works, but it's hard. And what you did, what you were able to develop, what you created, changed the way that it works for everybody in the community, because you modernized it and you made it so that you didn't have to be doing this all day, that you could actually have a full-time job and let the system do the work for you while you're at your work. And so you changed so many people's lives. And so from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Now, guys, we're gonna get right into it. I told you no fluff. No, I just wanted you to hear his story. I needed you to know where it came from, but now we're gonna get right to it, okay? So Ethan, if you would, he's the Chief Operating Officer of the Astroblaster company. If you would, show us your face, Mr. Armillos. How are you, bro?
What's going on, brother? How are you?
I'm excellent, man. Good to see you as always.
Yeah, I honestly came back I didn't come back from Colombia with a cool nickname. I'm so just Ethan.
You're just Ethan.
Yep, I'm so just Ethan.
You're not Chinito Lindo, you're Ethan Armillos. But, you know, we love you, dude. You're awesome. You've also been such an incredible help to so many people in the community. Ethan, along with okay, so I do coaching calls within the Astroblaster community, as does Ethan. And Ethan, you are going to show us the system. So if you would you share your screen and give us all an enlightenment into what this system can do?
Yes, sir. So honestly, Astroblaster is as close to of a all-in-one solution for not only my wholesaling business, but for a lot of other wholesalers, businesses throughout our community. So Astroblaster in its entirety is a system that allows you to call, text, email all of your relationships, whether it be agents, whether it be buyers, allows you to automate call, text, emails. So really just kind of diving into it here, really the complexity behind everything is, if you want to boil it down to its roots, allows you to automate not only just your, so the hello and you introducing yourself to these agents, and once the relationship is established, you being able to automate that follow-up and now reach out to them every 2 to 4 weeks, asking if they have any opportunities that you guys can do together, right?
So why is that important, Ethan? Because in reality, right, there's 600 people-ish on today's call right now, which, by the way, congratulations, the 600 do you say you're going to do phenomenal. But why is it important that we automate follow-up? Because here the reality is 600 of you are here right now. But what ends up happening is you come in, you get fired up. You're like, yeah, wholesaling. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go make money. Come on, let's go. Let's do it. And then what ends up happening is then life happens. You go back to work. Your spouse is like, what are you doing? Get back to the kitchen table. Let's eat dinner. You're doing all this stuff, and then you drop the ball, right? You get excited for a couple of days, and then you drop the ball, right? So why is the auto fall so important?
Just because it does a lot of what we are not willing to do because of our egos, right? So if I reach out to somebody for, I reach out to them today, they don't answer. I reach out tomorrow, they don't answer. And then maybe another time, at that point, my ego is going to say, hey, maybe this person's just ignoring me. Maybe I just move on to the next person, right? It's really just sometimes we're our own worst enemy. But the robots, the AI, it does not have feelings. It does not care if it gets left on red 17 times, right? But that 18th time, when that realtor has nobody else to turn to, they'll send that to you, no problem. Why? Because you've been consistently in the top of their mind, and they're just like, hey, you know what? Let me just send this to Ethan. Let me see what he says, right? So that's essentially the reason why the automation of the follow-ups is so important, and even just to get an idea as to what we are really looking.
Master system has thought of it and has created a way to reply to that. Now, just kind of zoom out for us so that people can see the complexity of what this is, because, guys, this is insanity. Check this out. Look at this. Look at all of look at the workflows here. This is absolutely bonkers. It's bonkers, right? If the agent says this, say this. If the agent says this, do that. When the agent does this, do that. It is so complex that it even knows when to send a meme.
Yep.
It even knows when to send a meme. If just like a natural human being is having a conversation with you when you're talking to your friends, yeah. And you know how you guys, sometimes somebody says something funny and you send a meme? Yeah, right? That's a natural way that people talk. It even knows when to send a flipping meme. I mean, that's just crazy. Anyhow.
Like a nice little like this, yeah. It'll actually step in and do some nice humor for you. But honestly, the follow-up automations is what is the star of the show for me, because it starts out just like any other relationship, right? If you're just talking to a guy or a girl for the first time, you want to be able to just really be in communication with them as much as possible. But as a relationship goes on, you don't want to be as annoying, right? So like the very first few follow-ups, 1, 2, 3, that it'll send an automated call, text, email every about 10 to 14 days, right? But as that relationship starts to really nurture, now we're getting into 4, 5, or 6. It'll sparse out to like maybe every 3 weeks, and then as it goes along, it'll go out to 28 days, 30 days, to where these individuals at this point know you by your name, right? You don't want to necessarily always bug them too much by reaching out to them every 2 weeks, but now it becomes a lot more natural reaching out every maybe 3 weeks, every 4 weeks. So now you're still at the top of their mind, but you're not so much bombarding them with hey, do you have anything every 2 weeks? So that's what I also love about it in that sense. But even just to dive into the very beginning of course, what do you say to those 8 just starting out?
Because we got people that are brand new, right? We got people that are brand spanking new in here, so they're like, man, okay, this is cool, but like I don't even know, like what would I say? How would I even approach a realtor? I'm kind of lost. Like I what would I do? So how user friendly and how done for you is that conversations even?
Yeah, so I'll demonstrate it one of 2 ways. The very first way is going to be the one that's obviously the most easiest in regards to understand. So we really teach it in 2 different ways, and this is really just going to be depending on, of course, your time commitment. How many hours are you able to really put into the system and into this business, right? So if you're that individual that is a busier individual with a W-2, family, or just work life all around, you'll most likely want to do more of the text model. But if you're also have a little bit more time on your hands, or you have no issue being able to talk to individuals, I'll show you the very first way of how to actually send a text blast, create appointments for yourself to actually call and speak to these individuals and to create that relationship. And number 2, I'll demonstrate exactly how you can actually just keep everything via text and develop those relationships that way. So
awesome. So walk us through the first.
Yep. So the very first way of how I do it is I actually had sent out a couple just now, and essentially this is the message that I will send out if I'm looking to create some appointments for myself. So the very first message that I will send out is, hey Carlos, my name is Ethan Armijos. I saw you were pretty recommended realtor and was hoping you could help me purchase a property in Houston. Is it okay if I give you a call between the hours of 3 and 5? Now, why is this still super important is because for the individuals that still are very busy people, whether, again, be their family, W-2, whatever the case may be, if you send this type of message out to 50, 70 agents, and you get at least half of those people, usually it's about a 40 to 50% response rate. So if I send this out to 75 people, a minimum of about 35 of them will answer. Now, out of 35, if you schedule at least 25 to 30 appointments for yourself between 2 hours, out of those 30 people you speak with, at least 20 of them are going to want to work with you. So at that point, it's just a matter. And if you're able to put 20 people into your follow-up automations each and every day, within a month's time, you'll have hundreds of people in your automations that you're texting a minimum of every 2 weeks.
That is incredible.
So that's the reason why that number 1, even if you want to go the model of calling, which is always going to be I would say the best, because nothing is going to build rapport with your agent like actually speaking to them, having them understand where your heart is coming from, how you can serve them, how they can serve you, and how that relationship can start out. So this is their very first method. Second method, which I also really love.
So so before you move on to that, right? There's where do the agents' phone numbers come from? People are wondering, do I got to go get these numbers? Like, how do I get this list? Where does it come from? And then what about the scripts? What about like what to say? Where does that all come from?
Yeah. So what's beautiful about the system is essentially at sign up, we have agent lists available for over 60 markets across the country. So whether
you don't got to pay extra for those, right? There's no money. You get the list for free, right? So let's just be clear about that. We're not like, hey, nickel dime, no, none of that crap. It's like you get the agents list. Here you go. So we give them a curated agents list, which actually cost us quite a bit of money to create because it's the best agents list that even exists out there. It is scrubbed, it is clear, it is ready to go. And then what about what to say? Where does that all come from? Do I have to come up with the words, or where did the words come from?
So every single system. So at sign up, we have, like, again, 60 markets across the entire country, anything from California to New York to Florida. You can, at sign up, you can choose whatever market you get. That list is automatically uploaded into your system. You don't even have to bother setting everything up, uploading. That list is automatically uploaded into your account. And in regards to the actual messages, everything from the initial messages all the way to every single follow-up message, everything is already preloaded in there for you. Now, in regards to actually maybe just editing it to fit your personality, we coach you on how to do that in its entirety. So this way, of course, it can fit your personality, how you talk, so on and so forth. So that's something that you can absolutely do as well. Even if you're like, well, I don't want, can I change it? You can absolutely change it to fit whatever you are specifically looking for, or, you know, how you want to sound. So going into essentially how you can get into keeping this all via text message. So even if I want to just go into one of these conversations here, let me look for something. And, like, honestly, what I really love is the worst that it can ever get when it comes to reaching out to real estate agents is going to be the individuals here that say, I'm not a realtor, right? Like, whenever you're in comparison to, this thing is not loading. Give me 1 second here.
Yeah, and we've already skip traced those phone numbers. Nobody's got to go skip trace the numbers. We give you the agent list and we give you the phone numbers.
Yep. So let's see if this wants to work now. There you go. So in comparison to, like, direct to seller, right, where you're getting a whole lot of, like, FUs, F off, I'm gonna sue you.
Yep.
The worst that it can ever really get is, I'm not a realtor. It's like, okay, no problem. Then I'll just mark you as, you know, not interested. On to the next. Usually I'll write a nice little message, but we'll move on from here. With Teresa here, do not get involved with flipping. That's fine. So with, like, Keith here, if I want to keep this very strictly via text message, we have you can think about it as like a funnel system, right? So, or really like a ladder. So it's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. So if we go to tags right here, you'll click on add new tag. These come up. These are literally the very first ones that pop up. So you see first reply, second reply, third, fourth, fifth. So with this individual that has expressed interest that, you know, they'd be willing to work with me, or they're willing to hear me out, literally all I got to do is just click on add new tag, first reply, and now this is going to send an automatic text message for me. You'll notice that it was just marked red, and then I just move on to the next. So in the next minute, that message will go out to that individual, essentially saying, you know, it's nice to meet you over text. I am more so looking for an investment property. Is that something you can help me with? I want to see if it went out just yet. Didn't go out just yet, but we'll move on to the next one from here. So this is essentially how you can keep it all through text message. For Kirk here, I'm booked up during this time. I'm happy to contact you tomorrow. I don't mind texting you right now, Kirk. So first reply, and you can see how quickly this can really be done. And what's really nice also as well is this is not just available via desktop. We have a mobile app as well, where you can call, you can text absolutely everybody, just like how we're doing here. You can manipulate the tags. So this way, even from your phone, I wouldn't advise doing it while you're driving, but if you're driving, if you're at your W-2, if you're at market buying bananas, you can add the tags, you can initiate all these automations, so on and so forth. So just kind of going more here, what kind of property are you looking for? Well, my tag answers that perfectly, Mark. First reply. Now let's see, at this point in time, the automation should have been going out. So for Mr. Kirk and Keith here. So we already got these messages going out. So yes, sir, it's nice to meet you over text. I am actually looking for an investment property. That's something you can help me with, right? So for Kirk here as well, same message goes out. And essentially now we're just gonna be waiting for them to respond. And then
so how many messages did you send out? Yeah, so what was, like, how many messages did you send out there so that we can kind of see this is like one campaign. This is the breadth of one campaign. How many messages did you send out there?
Yeah, so this was the very, and I can actually go through exactly how this first message goes out, just and how you can actually even schedule that out so it fits your day better. Okay. But this is the very first initial message that ever goes out to them. Once they respond, this will then, this is when I would click on the first reply. So this is really like the first step in the ladder if you're trying to keep this all on just text and not calling any. It's, hey, it's nice to meet you over text. I'm actually looking for an investment property. Is this something that you can help me with? So most automations, I actually like a little bit of a double text because it definitely increases your response rates versus just one text. So this was just first reply, which sends out a double text. Both of these automated that I did not have to send out. Now, essentially, from here, all I'm really waiting for is Keith, Kirk, Mark to reply. What's really nice is if any of these guys decide not to answer me right now, every single workflow, whether it be from the first reply all the way down to the 5th reply, as long as they're still in this workflow, if they don't respond now, in 24 hours, they're going to get another text message. And every single time they don't respond, they're just going to keep getting messages they do, right? So this thing just does not stop until they just decide to get on the call with you or answer your text messages, so on and so forth. So that's
what if the agent... Yeah, so I'm sorry. So that's how it works if you're just doing straight text. And so, guys, just so you can bifurcate this in your brain, bifurcate is a big word. What I'm saying is split your brain. I didn't go to college. Okay?
Nope.
So split this in your brain. If you are working a full-time job and you can only text, okay, you don't have time to call, right? You can't get on the phone a lot because you're boss and whatever else, right? You're full-time. The text is what Ethan just went through. That's how that's going to work. But what if they want to get on the phone with you? What if you want to, and you want to get on the phone with them? Walk us through that, brother.
Yeah. So essentially, really, it's as easy as if you are going to be the individual that is kind of more or less going this route, right? If you want to be able to schedule an appointment for yourself, and this individual, Arlene, said has to be tomorrow morning or in the evening, you can decide to do a couple of different things. So you have appointments here where you can actually book an appointment with yourself and with Arlene here. So you can book an appointment, and that'll also remind them as well via some reminders. And at that point, you can view everything within your calendar about, okay, who am I going to be at whatever specific time? Or if you just want to just keep it open and available in your conversations and you want to operate it like that, that's just fine. But in regards to the actual phone calls itself, it can be as easy as you just strapping up some headphones and you literally just calling this call button right here, ding, 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 and it's just
so it's a dialer too, so we can literally call from this thing. So what if I'm like, I want to hear my phone call and how the conversation went? Does it record?
Oh, bro. Oh, absolutely. So this is going to be my actual personal account here. So this old good old buddy of mine, Fred, I'm going to be locking up a pretty decent size.
Are we able to hear a conversation? Can you play here, or does it work? Does it not work through Zoom like that?
I'll have to take off my headphones if that's not a problem.
Here, yeah, give us a a taste of what these conversations sound like, so people can hear the reality of this, right?
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful. All right.
Hello.
Actually, we hear you better.
What's going on, brother? How are you? I'm good. Listen, I ain't got you no news yet, but one of the relatives, they did come by here today, and they was explaining it to me how it was going on and stuff like that.
So yeah, you guys, you can listen to all your phone calls. You can listen to absolutely everything. So obviously,
how long was that call? How long was that call, by the way? I kind of just, it's 6 minutes. Okay, is there a good part? Can we skip to the good part? Is part like, and I don't know. I've never heard this, so it's like I just kind of like the way the guy talks. But I mean, this is exciting. Who's excited listening to this? Like, this is real. This is like,
you guys done a probate contract up. You know what I mean? And maybe can go around her and go that way. You know? Right. But like I said, it's somebody living in the house, because I went and put a note on that door. And they did come. They came to my office, right? And we was talking about it. But like I said, I got to go to her old attorney and hope that he can give me the aunt's attorney who he was communicating with, and then go there and just drop off a contract and write a note and explain to him what's trying to be done.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Fred, he's gonna make us some money. I can definitely tell you that.
That is so flippin' cool, dude. That is so cool. So you guys heard, the agent's got a probate deal. And so this is the cool thing, right? Ethan's not the one out dealing with the probate. Ethan's not the one out there talking and leaving a note on the door. None of that. The agent's out there. Ethan is networking with the agents. See, we hacked the system, guys. We hacked the system. Because now we figured out, where do we go? Where do all the deals go? Where do deals come from? You know how, like, when you were a kid, you're like, where do babies come from? Moms? Okay. Where do deals come from? agents, right? And so we figured that out, and now we just have to figure out how to make this all work. Okay, so okay, keep going, bro. My brain is just so impressed right now. It's so dope. Anyways,
Yeah,
keep
so
going.
honestly, and what's really nice is honestly, like, even a great example is going to be that guy Fred. But once this data is all done, this seller is like 95 years old and lives in like Wisconsin. She doesn't know what DocuSign is. She doesn't know anything. So this guy, like, once his probate is all said and done, and like God willing, she doesn't croak before probate's done as well. This guy's gonna have to fly to Wisconsin to get her to sign, and then come back, scan it, just so then I could sign. So thank God that there's an agent involved, because I'm not doing that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So thank God for this agent, and he's going to be making a pretty sizable commission on it as well. So he's okay with it. But yeah, honestly, agents they're the ones that are talking to 100 sellers a day, right? So if I'm speaking to, or if my team is speaking to 100 agents a day, just think about that quantified amount of effort that you don't really have to do yourself. Does that make sense? So
Absolutely.
that's what I love about agents. So really just, not to get too deep into the weeds, but really just so I can even demonstrate how, even how do we get in front of these agents by even just sending out this text message? Is it going to bombard me on my job? Can we sparse it out throughout the day to where it's manageable? I'm going to be going through all that right now. So,
okay. So yeah, like, let's just say, like, that's such a good point, dude. Like, okay, so let's just say I start work at 9 o'clock, right? So maybe I got a little bit of time between 7 and 8:30, where I can get in and do a little bit of work, and then maybe I got a little bit of time during lunch to do a little bit more, and then I got a little bit of time afterwards, right? Because I got maybe an hour and a half a day. So you can schedule the messages go out so that when replies come and you have to, like, say somebody gives you an address and you need to comp it and you need to figure out what to offer on that house. I don't want that to happen when I'm sitting at my desk having to do my stupid job. All of a sudden I'm getting a lead. I want to get on that lead, right? Otherwise that agent could go give that lead to somebody else.
Exactly.
So how does that work?
Yep. So within the training, we're able to teach you how to create a list of realtors that you haven't contacted. So the second that we call, text, email any of these people, this is always going to be a fresh list you've never reached out to. So say for tomorrow, so for Thursday, I want to be able to just schedule this to reach out to all these agents tomorrow. So say I want to reach out to 100 agents tomorrow. I'm going to click on this funny little robot that says add to automation. I'm going to click on this. Okay, proceed. And then the workflow that we're going to be looking for is going to be approach realtor. That's what sent out that very first text message that we saw before. Now here we have three options. Add all at once essentially means like, hey, I want to text all 100 people right now. Now, that's not what I usually recommend, really, ever. I mean, unless you're scheduling this right now at like 9:30 a.m. and you want to blast like 100 people. Not really what I usually recommend. But if you're a workaholic and you're just ready right now and you're just gung ho, do it. Add all at a scheduled time essentially just means, hey, I want to text all these people at once, just at a later time. Again, not really what I usually recommend. The thing that I always will 1000% recommend, drip mode. Add in drip mode. Add in drip mode is going to allow you to schedule it for a later time and spread it out across a certain time period. So let's say I want to start on tomorrow, the 8th, and I want to start at 9:51 a.m., right? Seems like a natural time. So tomorrow morning, 9:51 a.m., and then I selected a total of 100 people. Say if I'm a busier individual at my W-2 job, I'm going to get fired if I'm texting all day. Let me text 10 people. So under batch quantity, I want to text 10 people every 1 hour. So this way, it creates it to be super manageable over your day, to where, if you text 10 people, maybe 3 to 4 of them might answer right now. I can text 3 to 4 people in an hour at my job without getting fired, or like, hey, you know what? Especially if you're going the route of calling people and within a certain time period, hey, I can make my message, reflect the time where during the time period where my kid is taking a nap, and you can get it done throughout that time. So you can schedule this to be at whatever time is really suitable for you, and we really make sure, at the onboarding process that you're really using the system with whatever is your time schedule. So this is essentially how we would do it. All that's really left is just label what we're doing. So I would just say 100 agent blast. Tomorrow will be 8/8. And then from here, you just click on add to automation. And now that's scheduled to go out starting tomorrow morning at 9:51. And now it's tomorrow at 9:51. You don't have to do a thing. It's going to start out texting 10 agents, and then every 1 hour it's going to text 10 more until that 100 is exhausted. And that's essentially how you get the ball rolling. And then again, you can decide to keep it everything via text, or have those phone calls scheduled to fit your time, to fit your schedule a lot better. So that's really everything in regards to the initial outreach side of things. So now we've seen, how do we develop the agents? How do we even, get in front of the agents? What do we say? What's the cadence of how I do it? How does the system work? That's essentially how all of the initial side of things work. Now we're getting into the follow-up side of things as well. So one of the things that I really wanted to demonstrate was even just one that I had to do, that the system did a lot of the legwork in regards to a lot of the follow-ups here. So this one was definitely a good example of one that I had to really didn't do much of. The system did a lot of the follow-ups, and if it wasn't for the system doing a lot of the follow-up, I probably would have lost this deal because she would have went to somebody else. This woman probably left me on red at certain time periods for like 4 to 5 months. And I don't know about you, but I'm not a confident man to have been left on red for like 4 to 5 months. I'm not. If I got left on by a girl maybe 2 times, I would have been like, I'll move on. You know what I mean? So the system did a lot of the legwork here, did a lot of the follow-ups, and just didn't care that it was being left on red. And at some point got hit with an address that turned into a $25,000 check. And you'll see the entire process of what this whole thing looks like. So I want to be able to just go to the very turning point of when this conversation, when this relationship really started, and when I got that lead, because it really wasn't for about maybe, I would probably say 13, 14 months. So I spoke to this woman in
Wait. So 14 months from your first initial conversation to when you got the deal. So guys, I want to highlight that for a second, okay? Right? 14 months from when initial conversation, and how much was the auto AI following up? How much of that was you, and how much of that was auto?
Oh, it was 1,000% auto. I would really only respond when she would come back to me with some form of lead, and I would just say yeah.
Right. How many people would have quit within 14? That's the piece that we forget. We forget to follow up with this guy. We forget to follow up with that lady. We forget to follow up. We forget. And the issue is that there's money in those in those follow-ups. That's where the money comes from, right? That's where it comes from. So 14 months start to finish. What did this lead you in terms of money?
Oh, 25,000.
Okay, so a human being would have quit after 2 or 3 follow-ups, okay? 25 grand was at the end of that line. 25 grand. Show us this conversation, please.
Yep. So you'll see that I started this call with just a cold call at that time, February 2nd, 2023. And then she immediately, this agent actually had sporadically would send me some leads, but never really amounted to anything. So this was the first conversation. She sent me a lead. I never really even got back to her at that point. But this was the very first automation that ever went out. Hey, just wanted to follow up to see if you had anything come across that might be good for a flip. Did not respond. 3 days later, another automated message. Hey, just want to make sure you got my text from yesterday. All of these are automated. So you'll notice right off the bat, she started leaving me on red. So February 2nd, February 3rd, now a month later, another automated goes out. And again, another automated message goes out because she's been leaving me on red. So now, even right off the bat, I spoke to her in February 2nd. We're now up until May 5th. Complete automated text messages that are going out to her. So all of these are completely automated. Now we're in June. So from early February to June, hey, I have a meeting with a client on Friday afternoon for a property. Okay, great. That sounds good with me. Now this is going to be a manual text message to what she just said, right? So this was a manual message. I have reminded myself to give her a call. and then we spoke about that lead. Probably didn't really amount to much considering we didn't get it done. And then from there, again, like I mentioned before, she would provide a couple good leads every now and again, but wouldn't amount to much. So, hey, it's your favorite buyer, Ethan. Now this is another automated message. Nothing. And okay, hope you're having an amazing day. Just want to check in. Again, another automated message. If I have any houses to share with you, I will. You don't need to text me. So now it's like, okay,
that's what the agent said. You don't need to text me. Okay,
yeah,
but
so
you
now,
keep,
like,
but it keeps going. The human would have stopped. I'm just saying, guys. A human would have stopped when the agent said you don't need to text me. Human would have stopped, but it kept going. What was the what happened? It sent a meme.
Yep. So now it's like, okay, I think Kelly's starting to be a little pissed off with me. Now it's like, okay, if I didn't send this meme, she probably would have just told me to like F off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was probably the meme that got her to where she was just like, nah, no. And then at this point in time, we actually had a huge update. The system actually, whenever a realtor responds, so just to kind of backtrack here, this is of course an automated message. Now, 9.5 times out of 10, a realtor is going to say, no, unfortunately, I don't have anything. Some variation of that, right? No, I don't have anything, not at this time. No, the market's dry. Something in regards to, I have nothing, and I have no intention of continuing the conversation. At this point in time, we had a huge update of what we call the AI follow-up identifier, to where if a realtor responds to an automated message like this with something along the lines of no, I don't have anything, no, the market's dry, it's going to automatically respond for you. So if you'll see here, this is now actually already starting to respond for me. No worries, thank you. Just closed on a deal last week in St. Pete, need to pick up 2 more. So these are automated replies now going to the agent whenever they say, no, I don't have anything. So this is not me manually responding. These are automated messages going out. And once these automated messages reply, it's going to automatically for you put that agent into the next stage of the follow-up. So let's say this is this meme here is typically the follow-up 6th stage. She says no, it's going to respond for me and put them automatically into follow-up 7 for me. I don't have to even tags, play around with anything. She's automatically dumped back into the follow-up system, and gets followed up with in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So that was a huge update that came out at that point in time. So now follow-ups. So actually, this was a manual. So this was a blast that I sent out for a hurricane in Florida. Yours too. Another manual. Not the craziest about condos. Yada yada yada. So this is all manual. So this was at this point in time what we call long-term follow-up. So this is what follows up with them every 30 days. So this was a double text automated. And I think this was another time period where she just left me on red for quite a bit of time. So at the end of September, so this automated messages, automated. So now we're fast forwarding from the end of September all the way until, and at this point, this was a voicemail drop. So this actually appeared as a missed call, got a voicemail.
So you guys did so the system did a voicemail drop. Let's hear it.
Hey, it's Ethan Armijos. I hope all is well. I just wanted to give you a call. I know we haven't spoken in a little bit. Just feel free to give me a call back whenever you get a chance. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Not too
Amazing.
bad.
So that's preloaded in there, and it knew exactly when to drop it based on what's been going on in your guys'. The fact that they haven't been opening to you, it dropped the voicemail. Okay, keep going. Keep going.
So it's like, no,
so as you guys can see, look at all these messages, right? Look at all these follow-ups. Still, okay, what happens now? What's the agent saying now?
I'm doing well. I only have 1 house currently that I have on the market in Riverview. Yeah, that's not
okay. Keep going up. Let's get to stuff.
All right, so let's fast forward here a little bit now. So mind you, wasn't 14 months. It was just a little bit under 12 months actually. So I spoke to her like February 3rd. This is January 31st. Which is when she sent me the address that ended up being the deal that I closed on. So this was actually a pretty decent sized property, and we ended up getting it under contract. Took a little bit to get it under contract, but it was a pretty expensive home. And long story short, let me see if I can actually pull up the HUD here, because not only did I get paid 25 grand on it, but another Astro flipping student got paid 25 as well. And one individual has also made close to 75 grand, I believe. Let me double check here. Yeah, right here. So you'll notice here.
Okay, so that's the HUD. This is, guys, And y'all are funny in the chat, man. Some of you guys are okay. What is it? It's like I'd love to see some of you guys on a date. You know what I mean? Just be like, hey man, when are we getting to bed? Yeah, y'all can't. You guys let the man have foreplay here for real. Like y'all are just crazy in there. Just like let's get to it. Okay, show us the hub.
So you'll notice 7810 10th Ave, and then you'll notice 7810 10th Ave. So this is the HUD for this property. And then you'll notice as we scroll down here, C&E Financial, this is my 25 thou wow. And then this other Astro student made another 25 thou wow. And then another partner of mine made 75 and on this property.
75 what? Your voice went out. 75 what?
75,000 macaroonies.
Holy mother of Christmas. What the heck, dude? By the way, dude, you should have sold that deal yourself, because you left $100K on the table, dog.
Yep.
For real, guys, I'm just saying, like he left $100K on the table, because another wholesaler down made 75K daisy chaining that thing, right? I love that he brought an Astro community member into it, because like that's dope. I love sharing with the family. But I got 75 grand. I mean, if we had been able to just find our own buyer, right? If you had been able to find your own buyer, you would have made an extra $100,000 on this.
Yep.
And people are asking, how much did the agent make on that? What was the total price of that deal?
I honestly was actually even happier about the agent on this deal, because geez Louise, how much. I was actually a little bit jealous about how much the agent got paid. I think she made closer to like 70 grand.
Hell yeah, dog.
I don't even know where it is right now, but I saw it. Hold on.
Because it was a big deal.
Yeah, this was a 1.9.
Holy shoot! Then I'm not tripping, because when you were talking almost a $2 million deal, it's cool. It's cool that people are making assignment fees like that. That's normal, dude. That's normal. In big deals like that, that's normal. So the agent got 70K. Now, guys, this is
commission right here, $95,000 towards the
95 grand, agent. So so this agent, I want to just point it out. I want to highlight this. The agent said, "Stop texting me." Okay, agent. So this dumbass, excuse my language, this agent said, "Stop texting me." And if the human, our Ethan, would have not kept going, if the human Ethan would have stopped, but AI Ethan kept going. Okay, AI Ethan kept going. The human agent would have blocked their own $95,000 blessing.
Yep.
Okay, but because this thing kept going, it's the agent got 95 grand, you got 25 grand, another Astro dude got 25 grand, and the other wholesaler got 75 grand. All of that value happened because human beings were interacting with robots.
Yep.
Because if it was human to human here, bro, this money would have never been made.
No, never.
Now, guys, tomorrow, okay, Ethan, thank you, bro. Tomorrow, we're gonna get into the system on a deeper level. But before you leave that, bring your screen back up, because there's people in here that are saying, but I don't really understand wholesale, right? I don't really understand wholesaling. Like I don't know about the contracts. I don't know about the assignments. I don't know how much to say. How much is this? What should I offer? Like, I don't know any of this. So I told you guys I was going to solve 4 problems. Okay. The first problem was time. Okay. The second problem was the cost per contract problem, almost $10,000 cost per contract. The third is you don't have knowledge. You have knowledge. You don't have a training course. You watch me on YouTube, blah, 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 blah. But it's like none of that's, my YouTube's all over the place because I make videos when I want to make videos. Okay, but what about like actually everything organized in a way from start to finish on how to do a wholesale deal? So what is also in this platform?
Yeah, brother. So the one thing that you know, when I really got on board was some people not coming onto Astroblaster, not being affiliated with Astro Flipping, Sub 2, TTP, and not really understanding what it means to wholesale, what it means to do the job. I'm giving you the tool on how to do your job, but you don't know how to do the job. One of the things that I was really passionate about was, of course, when I got into Astro Flipping, you know, was of course getting the knowledge of it, but not also being too comfortable with the price. Not gonna lie, was really the price. If it wasn't my girlfriend putting it on a personal credit card, I don't know if I would have ever been able to.
But the reality is, guys, my if you want to join Astro Flipping, my community, it's $8,000.
Right.
Like that's what we charge for. It's straight up, right? To come into my Astro community is $8,000, right? And
Right.
Ethan's just saying to you guys that he wanted to do it because he was broke and he was like, bro, I don't have it. But his girlfriend believed in him, so she done put it on her credit card, $8,000 on her credit card, so he could join. Okay, so but what comes with this platform?
Yeah, brother. So with the platform, really right from the very get-go, you're going to get a call from our support team. So even right from the very get-go at purchase, even as soon as tomorrow morning, you can expect to already get a call from our success team. So this individual is going to be your account manager to be able to essentially get you in front of your success manager. You are going to be getting a one-on-one with a success manager who's really going to hold at the entire onboarding process of signing up, getting your account ready, hearing you out in regards to your personal situation, your scheduling, and how to fit the system in with your schedule so you can succeed as best as possible. From that point on, of course, a part of the onboarding system is going to be the Astroblaster. So not only do you have one, but we actually have 2 video courses. Number one, of course, the Astroblaster course. So this is going to teach you how to, and these are all in-depth videos of how to set up your account, but also how to use the system. Of course, we need to teach you how to use the tool that you're getting, right? So are super in-depth videos of how to set up and use your Astroblaster system. But the one thing that I was really passionate about was really the wholesaling course, the A to Z wholesaling mastery course that is not at any additional charge. This comes with your system. Why? Because I don't want to ever give somebody the tool without not knowing how to do the job, right? So this course will go from A to Z of, what is wholesaling real estate? What are the appraisal rules? So essentially, how do I evaluate property? So this way, when you're speaking to realtors and they actually give you a lead, how can you identify a piece of coal from a diamond, right? So exactly, what's a good property to go after. So essentially how to evaluate a piece of property like a licensed professional appraiser would. An appraiser is a licensed real estate professional that will determine the value of the property comparative to other properties that have sold in the area. We use their exact rules to be able to evaluate properties. So this way I can determine this, hoarder house, what is this going to be worth when it's beautifully fixed up? Appraisal rules
Right.
are teach you just that. So
guys, I invented those appraisal rules, by the way. After interviewing over 100 appraisers, I came up with what those rules were that were consistent between all the appraisers, and I put them together. And that was something that I teach in Astro Flipping, but Ethan done stole it from me and he turned it into a module in here. It's all good. I love you. You're fine to do it. He put it here, and it's a part of this course as well. So guys, so here's the third problem, right? So we solved the problem of time. We solved the problem of the cost per contract. We solved the problem of I don't know what the hell to do. I have no knowledge. I don't know what to do. The last problem that people were having was I have no support. And I want Jamil to coach me. I want to be able to ask that homeboy some questions. How do I get Jamil on a Zoom? How do I get questions answered by Jamil? How do I do this? How do I get support from Ethan? How do I get a community? How do I get help? So we solved that problem too. You get the community. Talk about the community, Ethan.
Yeah, brother. So the one that I also really felt passionate about was having and being a resource to anybody that had any questions, whether it be from the most basic thing about the system all the way up to being able to negotiate and help them get their first contract, right? So not only do I make myself available, I have 2 Q&A calls each week, so both Saturday and Sunday, and I give 3 to 4 hours a day of my Saturday and Sunday to the community, staying on there for, it's supposed to be like 1 or 2 hours, but I don't hop off that call until everybody's question gets answered. Typically, it's about 3 to 4 hours long every Saturday and Sunday. Andy, same thing. He's available Monday. And the best time of the week is going to be your Q&A call on Tuesdays, where people can hop on those calls where they can ask you absolutely anything from real estate, wholesaling, just comps, being able to evaluate a piece of property, and being able to go to you for guidance on that is tremendous. Also, other student leaders that are making 30, 40K a month are student leaders and have student-led calls the remaining days of the week. So we have calls every single day of the week. So if you have any questions in regards to the system, you can hop on my live calls, Andy's live call, and if you have any real estate related questions, you go on Jamil's call, you go on the other leaders' calls, and you know dang well you're getting it from individuals that are doing business. This isn't theory to them. This isn't something that they did 3 years ago and they're just teaching you outdated stuff. They're doing this now, right? So that's something that I felt super passionate about, and just making sure that you guys always have a good insight as to what's working now, and making sure that whenever you're dealing with these real estate agents, you have current contracts that you know what to do and what's the best way to maneuver. So those Q&A calls are powerful as well.
All right, brother. Hey, listen, tomorrow we're going to be back with Ethan. We're going to be actually diving into the system, really getting into the nitty gritty of it. He just kind of gave you brush strokes today. Okay, he gave you brush strokes today. He showed you, some of the conversation, whatever. But tomorrow we're going to get into the system, because a lot of you guys are going to take action today, and you guys are going to become part of this community. You're going to become a part of the software, and you're going to need to understand, how it's all working, like getting into the nooks and crannies. And so we're going to do that tomorrow. Ethan, get ready for that, brother. I love you. But sure. Speaking of student leaders, speaking of people that have been crushing it and actually making this go wild, I want you guys to meet Hugh. My man Hugh, he's actually in Vietnam right now. He's been running the entire Astroblaster system from Vietnam. This guy, he doesn't always live in Vietnam. He's stateside quite a bit as well. But this dude is a beast. All right, what's up, Hugh? How you doing, dog?
Hey, doing good, Jamil. Glad to be here.
Happy you're here with us. So it's not $8,000, guys. Chill out, man. All you guys in the chat are so funny. You're like, let's kiss. Let's get right to bed. Just give us a second. My goodness. Okay, give us a second. Holy moly. Hugh, would you walk us through one of these conversations? Walk us through how you've been rocking the Astroblaster platform.
Let me share my screen right quick. So I have a example of a deal that we just closed literally a few weeks ago. So, but you notice here, I reached out to this agent the first time on July 31st, 2023. So this is almost like a year ago, actually more than a year ago, actually. So what happened is I call him to intro myself and tell him what I'm looking for. Right? I'm looking for ugly homes. I'm an investor. And then right after I hang up, I actually put him into a automation sequence that basically summarize the call, tell him to lock me in the phone and send them all of my information. Like all of these are automated except for the first call. Everything else has been automated. And I thank you. And also I just say I want to add them on Facebook. It's something extra that I do. And then she's asking if she wants to list some home for me. Nothing really exciting happened here. And then this is when the first follow-up text happened. About a few weeks later, it sent out the first text, say, hey, Dion, do you have any deals that I can take a look? And then she actually said she sent me a deal, which is pretty rare. So like she actually sent me a deal immediately, on the first follow-up text. And then I don't know, for whatever reason, I don't think this is like pass on it. And then about a few weeks later, it actually sent her another follow-up automation here. And this one is a automated voicemail. So this is about 3 weeks from the last follow-up. And this is automated as well. She didn't respond. So it, again, like the same thing that Ethan has showed you guys before, is send a follow-up text and you get the text. Then she replied to this one. She said, I'll let you know if I do. And then I try to add her on Facebook again because she didn't accept me the first time. So I keep trying for the second time. She's gonna, want to put a face to a name here. And then she didn't reply to that. But then a few weeks later, it sent out another automation text and some text, and she replied, hey, nothing yet. So she's still like keeping in touch with me, but she didn't have anything that I can take a look at. And then on November, another automation going out. And then she said that she don't have anything right now. Actually, she actually gave me a curfew. She said that she had other investor that she tried to work with as well. So this is when I actually have to step in. I have to like overcome that objection say, hey, I do understand you have other investor, but like just keep me in mind. I would be your, your third guy for right now, but I want to be your first eventually. So this is something that I have to do. But besides that, the automation keep going on. December actually sent her a meme with the dog, and asked her the same thing if she had any deal. She said no, I haven't. So even though she said before that she had other investor, but when I reached when the system follow up with her again, she still replied to me.
Let's
So,
scroll up to where you got the address. Because your screen is kind of frozen, so we can't even see what's happening right now. It's like,
oh crap. Shoot. Can you see this okay?
I can see your screen, but I can't see. Yeah, like nothing's moving.
Oh, okay. What's the case? What are you seeing right now?
I just see that like the beginning of your conversation.
So let me stop sharing and try it again, see if it's gonna work. So let me try again. Can you see?
Scroll. Can you scroll?
Hang on, I might share the wrong screen. My bad. Make sure I share the right screen here. Oh yeah, I shared the wrong screen. Oh shoot. Yeah, I think.
Okay, that's okay, bro. Just scroll right up to where you. We know there was a lot of back and forth,
Yeah.
The automation was talking. It wasn't
all the
you.
time.
But I want to get to where the deal happened. Where did we get the deal?
So actually, she called me on April when I sent the text said, "Hey Dion, any interesting project lately?" So this is when she actually called me. We talked about a deal, and she actually have 3 deals coming up. So we talk about. Yeah, she gave me the address right here. She actually gave me 3 deals to do. And I think I made an offer on all 3, but I was bidden out by an actual end buyer that ended up from her that paid me the dispo price. So I couldn't compete with them on that. So I think from July to April they finally sent me something that's worth looking at.
Okay.
But that deal fall through because I wasn't able to lock it for the price I want. But I think
So just a lot of back and forth. Like deals
Yeah.
didn't work out.
Yeah.
Deal was too expensive, and then when do we get to the paycheck?
so. Fast forward to the paycheck. It's going to be a lot of back and forth here. I think. This is the location.
There's a
here.
lot of these messages that a human being. Like, I just want to point out a lot of these messages. We can see how much you're scrolling here. This is where the human would stop, right? This is where if you don't have the automation, if you don't have the workflow set up, then you would absolutely have walked away from continuing on here.
Yeah.
Right. And so when did you get the? Let's see the address.
May the address on 3722 Drayton. She about to list the property, but she wanted to give me a shot first before she put it on the market.
Yep.
So we talked a little bit. She sent me the photos, and I make her an offer via text, 72. We lock it up for 72, and we actually sell it for I think 80 something. So we make about 13 grand. And then after the buyer walk it, we go back and we renegotiate for another 4 grand. So I made a total of 16 on this one. So if you can see my PDF right here?
Yep.
So
enlarge that if you can. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Guys.
So that's the
Where's
same
your assignment
address.
fee?
3722 Drayton Drive. That's the same address that I mentioned. And down here is set assignment fee to HBI Home Solution for 16.5.
Hell yeah, dog.
Down at the bottom.
Let's go.
And this
Good
is a typical size deal for us with the system. I would say this is the average. Sometimes we get higher, sometimes we get lower, but I would say about 15 to 16 is pretty average.
So now you were doing direct to seller before.
Correct.
And what was your average cost per contract when you were doing direct to seller?
Mine is low comparing to the industry just because I'm doing the lead generation myself and I don't hire. But probably that I only do like 1 or 2 deals a month. So with everything all by myself, it usually costs about 2 grand per contract, which is low for the industry, but still it's way more than what this is for sure.
Yeah. So can you pull up your spreadsheet? Can you show us what you've been? Because you almost fully switched over to Astroblaster. Just what
Correct.
that looked like. What that looks like in your business
I have
right now.
fully be on board with Astroblaster now. I think that's my main method of lead generations right now. And I do have a spreadsheet where I keep track of all of the deals I've done with Astroblaster since November of last year. And you can see all the address right here, all the assignment fee. There's a total of 37 deals in this spreadsheet since November of last year. And the total assignment fee that I made from all these 37 deals is about a little over, $500,000, 561,000 to be exact. And the crazy thing is total cost
Over $500,000
over $500,000. Yes, sir.
since last November, just using this platform.
Correct.
And what's the cost per contract on those 37 deals?
Yeah, because the total cost, cost per contract, it's crazy. It's only $93 because I spend a total of $3,500 for the initial setup, the texting every month, the subscription, like all in for like the last 7 months. I spent $3,500. But you can see we make 37 deals, so like the cost per contract is like $93. And I just want to highlight something really cool here. So I spent $3,500 to make 561,000. So the return on investment is actually 233x. So imagine if you have an ATM machine where you put in $1, it spit back out $223. Like, who wouldn't even do that? Again, it take work. It was not easy, but
That's silly. Hugh, I love you, brother. Thank you so much for taking your time with us today. I appreciate you. Thanks for showing everything that you showed us today. You are the man. Folks,
thank you, Shamil.
Now's the time. So some of y'all been in the chat getting, Kimberly's getting mad at me because I'm weird analogies, and I'm a human being. I'm just a regular guy. I say some funny stuff. I'm just a dude. But the reality is, right now is the time y'all been waiting for. You guys, okay? Let's get to the good stuff. What's this all gonna be? What's this look like? Okay. Well, here's the reality. If you take the 4 problems that I solved here for you guys today, which first was time, the second was the cost per contract problem, right? The third was I don't know what to do. I need a course. I need knowledge, and then the fourth was I need a community. I need to be able to ask questions. I need to get Jamil on a Zoom. I need to be able to act like people with me. I need the community, right? If you were to get all of those problems solved, this thing should be 10 grand, right? Or more, right? There's no chance that this should be what it actually is. But in reality, guys, we understand that there's a lot of people, especially because this is the gateway to real estate investing. I get it, right? So many of us are working a W-2 job. If you're working a W-2 job, not a lot of people got 10 grand. You don't, and I understand that. But the reality is, okay, that I know that if you get and you do the work like Hugh, you do the work like Ethan, you do the work like Andy, you do the work like everybody else here who's struggled and made this happen, right? That you can change your entire situation. And no, it's not gonna be $10,000. And for all of you that wrote $8,000 in the chat, it's not gonna be $8,000. If you would, Tatiana, drop the link. Guys, today, you can get into the Astroblaster community. You get the course, you're gonna get the platform, you're gonna get the ongoing support, you're gonna get the information that you need. $997. That's the initial setup. That's gonna help us cover the costs of getting the support to come and help you get everything set up. And then it's $97 a month after that. You cannot get a business in this world of wholesaling done on a month. We only have a certain number of seats available. That's it. We have a certain number of seats available. We don't oversubscribe. We do not want to put ourselves in a situation where we can't support all the people who come up. So we've got 50 seats. 50 seats, that's it. The link is in the chat. Now, for anybody who takes action today, just today, okay, in addition to getting all of those problems solved, you guys remember when we talked about Ethan's $75,000 that he left, the 100K that he left on the table? You guys remember that? The $100,000 Ethan left on the table? I'm solving that problem for you as well. Ethan, myself, and Andy, John Galan, one of our Astro Flipping stars, we've been working on a dispositions course, meaning we're going to show you guys exactly how to go find those buyers yourself, so you don't got to leave that $100,000 on the table. Now we're actually going to start promoting that course next month for $3,000, but it's in beta right now. It's just in editing, okay? And for everybody who takes action today, I'm going to give you that course for free as well. All right, so we're talking what should be a $10,000 platform with another $3,000 disposition, $15,000. That's what I should be charging you guys for this today. But it's not going to be 13 grand. It's $997. Right, it's $997 for your setup, and it's $97 a month. You cannot beat that. There is nothing out there that's going to be able to make this work for you in that amount of money. Saw Hugh has this business done at $92 a contract. All of you guys right now that you're sitting there thinking, man, this is incredible. It is. But it's only going to be incredible for 50 of you. Tomorrow, we are going to get in. We are going to walk through this entire platform. We're going to show you how to use it. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty. So I want all of you who take the time today, all of you guys who take the time today and actually join this community. Okay, all of you who join our Astroblaster community, every single one of you, I want you guys to show up tomorrow. I want you to have gone through and kind of peeked around and see what all is, because tomorrow we're going to dive in deep. And after tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a live Q&A with you guys so that we can actually work through all the things and you guys can actually see what the support looks like. I'm on these calls every single week with you guys. This community, the Astroblaster community, is insane. And you'll never get like this at a cross like that. So the only thing that's holding you back right now is the fact that you might not believe in yourself enough to do it. And if that's you, why? When have you failed yourself? When have you not shown up for yourself? That's the reality. Now, the reason why this Astroblaster platform was even made was for the people that actually drop the ball. That sometimes just life just happens and they don't show up for themselves. Now you got a chance. Tatiana, link is in the chat. I hope to see you guys all together. Thank you guys for spending the last 90 minutes with me. I love you, Kimberly. I'm sorry I offended you because I said some funny things, but the reality is that's just how I am. I say funny stuff. God bless all of you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.